Alright, what is up, my little swipers? Back at it again with another recap of the news that took place today. Apologies, I did have another video intended for the dirtiest fighters in MMA, but the recording got botched, so I'm going to have to refilm that. But expect that in the upcoming weeks, just to switch up the content. That might drop on the day the news is low, but that certainly was not today, as we have a lot of things to go over. For our first story, our bald little chef, Alexander Volkanovski, has called out Justin Gaethje, reported by MMA Junkies via his YouTube channel. He goes, "I am not going to call for it. That's just the type of champion I am. I need you to earn it. But if the UFC wants to offer it, of course. See two 38-year-old fellas go at it in the lightweight division? 100%. Of course I would." Alexander Volkanovski has obviously tried to fight for the lightweight title twice in his run in the original featherweight title reign he had. Obviously it didn't work out, as both those losses came to Islam Makhachev, but doors may open to Justin Gaethje. I do understand Volk is pushing for the Movsar Evloev fight, and then maybe one more fight, potentially with Gene Silva, could earn him that spot to challenge for the title again. I, for one, would love to see Alexander Volkanovski reclaim #1 pound-for-pound status, as well as get double champ status in his lifetime. We will ride for our Bald King. We will chef up a two-time featherweight champ, and we will secure a double champ status. Also in the news, Kyoji Horiguchi unfortunately suffered a knockout to Manel Kape yesterday in a very, very entertaining main event. He tweeted right after, "Thank you for all your support. I got spectacularly knocked out. I'm truly sorry. Kape was strong. Thank you. This is why I can't quit martial arts. I'll retrain and be back in no time. I'm not giving up on my dream yet." Kyoji Horiguchi is a monster, 35 years old, insane record, 34-6, I think, or something. Half of his fights took place in Ryzen. Got to the UFC a little later, went on a tear. Dude's just such a phenomenal human. He made a video too, apologizing on his way out of the Apex yesterday. Yeah, no. Horiguchi is a class act, and honestly, he's not going to be going anywhere. Manel Kape, I think, will be challenging for the title next after Pantoja gets his rematch. But yeah, flyweight is looking like a very, very good division. Shifting over to the lightweight division, Mateusz Gamrot looks to be fighting in Abu Dhabi. He was reported by Connected MMA. He's 5 weeks out of camp, which will kind of put him in line with the UFC fight night in Abu Dhabi. And as we all know, Quillen Salkild was also in camp, and he did call out Mateusz Gamrot. So it is very, very likely we will get this fight announced in a couple weeks, which will be a banger of a fight. Mateusz Gamrot is a marauder. The guy's made of mahogany, and I, for one, am so excited to see him introduce these new talents into the division, and maybe shake it up so we don't get any more 35-year-olds being gatekeepers. But what more can you expect from the lightweight division? Shifting over our gears to the heavyweight division, Jamal Hill, as you all know, is shifting to gears and looking to enter the heavyweight division. He's looking at call out Josh Hokett, but he's also okay with going with Sergey Pavlovich in the event that the Hokett fight doesn't happen. It's going to be very likely that Hokett goes to fight Pereira, but in the event that Hill can't get that matchup, he's more than willing to fight Pavlovich. In fact, Jamal Hill went on the Home of Fight interview to say he doesn't want to fight Blades or Spivak because he's friendly with both. If not Hokett, yeah, Sergey Pavlovich. Spivak is my guy. I wouldn't want to fight Spivak. I love Curtis. Curtis is like a brother to me. So there's really only two guys he's willing to fight, and I will play the whole clip right now.
You mentioned Josh Hokett as an opponent. If that fight doesn't happen, is there anyone else at heavyweight that interests you?
Sergey Pavlovich.
Okay. Gotcha, because I was going to say, there's two Sergeys, but yes, yeah, the Pavlovich one.
Yeah, no, Spivak, bro, Spivak is my guy. I would not want to fight Spivak.
Okay.
Like, I love Sergey Spivak, bro. I got the video, you see me at his fight, but I'm screaming my fucking head off for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I love Sergey. I love Curtis. Curtis is
So honestly, I don't know. I'm curious what this is gonna look like for Hill. Pavlovich would be a fun fight. I am curious to see if Hill's speed can kind of carry over. He did say he's looking to fill in the frame properly. He's not just going to eat like a blob, and he will come into the best shape that he can. It would be pretty exciting to see another light heavyweight go up. Um, but I mean, I would kind of prefer if he stays a light heavyweight just because talent's kind of wearing thin here. But I don't think he has a great shot with Hoka just because of his pressure and his wrestling. But I would be curious to see if that power can carry over into heavyweight because I don't think Hill would need to change up his physique a lot to make the weight class. So that is very interesting. And another part of the story is Dana White, who essentially went on a press conference and kind of gave his thoughts on essentially the viewership of the White House event. As we all know, the MVP bout supposedly on surface level still beat out the White House by a couple 100,000, but Dana is saying there's more to that story. Interestingly enough, I'll play the clip here.
A third of their subscribers tuned into the, it was huge, and the global number's massive. So that's going to come out next week. That's the biggest thing that we've ever done, and obviously the biggest thing ever for the sport. And, my job, I've been saying this since the end of the ESPN deal, my job is to deliver for Paramount. And boy, have we delivered in 6 months.
So yeah, I mean, honestly, I hope Dana White is kind of right because the White House had to go through a lot. It was, going against the World Cup. It was on a Sunday, annoyingly enough. A lot of people weren't kind of tuning out because they had work in the morning. So it kind of did hurt a lot of the numbers. I am very curious what those can look like. I hope it does beat out the MVP card because honestly, quality for quality, I thought the White House card over delivered. It was phenomenal, maybe the best card I have seen. While the MVP card had Jake Paul's opponents fighting each other while they had to get wheeled out into the cage. But Dana White is also a bullshitter. I love Dana White, but at the end of the day, it's like, here's the thing, you guys. Look. No, that's Strickland. My bad. But Dana White, he's like, what's the question? Guys, come on. You think I'm not going to make the greatest event of all time? Come on, you guys. That's all Dana really does. He deflects. I am hoping he's not bullshitting, though, and we do get those actual numbers because, to be honest with you, I think the MMA community would like to know, and I think if you could shut up someone like Jake Paul and his shitty little promotion, I think that's great, and I think you should get those numbers out ASAP. I don't know how long it takes to finalize. I am curious what the market is outside the U.S. that can spike up the numbers. It could very well be more than the 7 million alone, so we should see in regards to that. Also, according to Dana White, he also went on to talk about the glove deal as Trevor Whitman went on Joe Rogan's podcast to discuss the glove deal. Apparently there might be hope. Yeah, it doesn't seem like they are completely moving on from a deal with Trevor Whitman to get the Onyx gloves intact. I am really, really curious if they can pull it off. I hope they can because, as you all know, his gloves notoriously curve downward so it doesn't poke you in the eye. So, guys like Cyril Gahn might not be able to win a fight anymore going forward, but they got into a numbers issue with the UFC, which caused them to not want to go through with it. But Dana White talks more about that in the same press conference. I will play the clip right here.
Trevor for years. Rashad Evans, whom I love and respect, came to me and said, "Hey, listen, I'm invested in this thing. We think that we have a great product here, and I would love to, introduce our glove to that Trevor built. All those guys like Trevor's a genius. He makes these bags and his gloves." So we looked at it all, and I literally told my finance team, "Get this deal done. Care what it takes. Get the deal done." They wanted like $100 million for the glove. How many fucking gloves you got to sell to make $100 million? It's impossible. So the deal never happened. But I told my team, and Denny, the girl who runs that department, is a brilliant woman. Brilliant. She came back to me like cross-eyed, like, I can't get a deal done with these guys. So I was already, I mean, that deal should have been done a few years ago. I wanted to do that for Rashad. So we'll see.
But yeah, I mean, hopefully the deal can come through. To be honest, 100 million is a ridiculous ask. I think the Venom deal is 50 million for over the course of 3 years. I think Whitman needs to negotiate a little bit. Like, I think there is a number that can work for the UFC while making you a fuck ton of money, but I do hope it doesn't become greed. That is the big issue for these gloves not going forward, because everyone who tries these gloves has said nothing but great things about them. But the one thing that people do need to realize is that the gloves that we've always ever seen are training gloves. They look the same as every other glove that curve forward. I've yet to see an MMA competition glove in production. That might exist, but I just haven't seen any videos aside from the sparring gloves that have been released. But I really do hope we can get those gloves in the future. It would be super unfortunate if guys like Gon and Imavov can't poke people in the eye anymore. And I don't know what they would do with themselves if their hands are going to have to stay closed going forward. But yeah, 100 million is ridiculous. I think when they wanted to do the Coliseum fight between Musk and Zuck, it was about 150 million. So either to get new gloves or to do a one-off fight in the Coliseum, though both those numbers just honestly seem kind of stupid. But I'm not going to repeat myself. I hope they can work out a good deal. But speaking of a new deal, going forward, rankings come Monday, June 22nd, where they're going to be done completely by AI. We are moving away from press and media, so it's going to be it's pretty much going to be stats, no media or decisions. It's all data driven based on wins and activity and all this such. But don't worry, it won't just be AI. There will be some human decisions. Dana White explains in the same press conference in this clip here.
Obviously, AI is going to play a big part in this, but like, is there some point where like stats and results can only do the ranking so much? Don't you need like an actual person to watch a fight to give their opinion on a ranking?
Yeah. So I'm going to have both. I'm still going to do human, non-human, however you want to look at it, rankings. And I think that neither will be perfect, but it'll get us closer. And I actually, the rankings that are going to come out on Monday, I think make a lot more sense. I think you're going to have a lot of people who are going to complain and argue and go, oh, this isn't fair, that's not right, and this isn't. We'll see how it plays out over the first year.
But yeah, it seems very interesting that he mentioned that first year part at the end. I haven't heard anything. This seems like it was going to be a permanent, indefinite timeline going forward. But we all know Dana does go back on a few things, like the new gloves and custom shorts and all stuff like that. So I am curious. It does seem like we're going to finally be getting a world, though, where people can't just fence it on their rankings, sit out, and then keep their rankings. I'm looking at you, Yair Rodriguez, you disgusting pig. Don't think I forgot about you come last week, okay? Oh, I was talking about Ilia Toporia's loss. You thought you were under my radar? Nah, buddy, we caught you. Have a seat, buddy. He posted on Instagram disgusting disrespect to Ilia Topuria. When you were a hammer, you had no mercy. Now that you are a nail, don't hope for mercy. A masterclass of humility for the little piece of meat, Pretoria. Congratulations, Justin Gaethje. What a badass. Glazing another man's win that you will never, ever get to see. Gaethje won a title. Rodriguez, you are never going to see a fucking title, okay? Because 1, you don't fight. 2, when you do fight, you fight unranked opponents. And 3, you fucking suck, okay? So keep sitting on the rankings. Stay number 5 for 5 more fucking hours by the time this video posts and the new rankings come out. You will never touch a belt. Keep glazing another man for accomplishments you will never fucking have. And honestly, keep that fucking energy up when we come back out of the hospital. Topuria left me in charge, okay? His eyes are swollen shut. I got him. Okay, he can't defend himself. I'll defend him. You're a fucking shit pig, buddy. You're trash. Sit on your ranking. Keep throwing your shitty little kicks. Never gonna touch a belt. Never gonna get a notable win. You are gonna retire a fucking bum and keep waving that stupid fucking belt you got custom made for you. I can't believe you bedazzled a fucking interim belt, dude. Volk beating your ass was so great. You got beat by Brian Ortega. Don't think we forgot about that. Don't think we also forgot about you ducking Zabit, you fucking bitch, okay? You're a duck, you're a coward, you're a shit fighter, fuck you. But you do throw really mean kicks. Anyways, someone who's not a fucking coward, Kamaru Usman, is coming back for the Oklahoma City event to fight DDP. This is going to be a banger of a fight. I have Dricus du Plessis. I think he is obviously just younger. He's a lot stronger. I am worried for Usman just because of the time off and the lack of activity. You know, the guy's only getting older. I think he's 39 years old. It's going up a weight class. DDP is a monster on the feet. Throws very mean kicks, something Buckley does not do too often. So I'm curious if that'll be a factor. But obviously Usman's wrestling is his bread and butter. He was able to go pretty competitive with Khamzat Chimaev, who obviously pinned down du Plessis for 25 minutes. I am curious how this fight goes. I'm leaning Dricus du Plessis by murder, but Usman is a dog, and he can find a way to win. Maybe I'll change my pick in the future, but that's what I'm going with now. But yeah, my little swipers, that is the video. I'm going to end on that stupid little graphic of Yair Rodriguez just to show him what a clown he is. Okay? But anyways, my little swipers, that is all we have for the news today. I appreciate you guys for watching. Leave a like on the video. Leave a comment on the video. Don't let Yair Rodriguez win. And subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace.